Hello, Internet. We are not doing a comparison. That's the first thing you need to know about these two bases.
A showcase. We'll showcase.
They are completely different, but they're also completely the same
almost
energy.
The same?
Yeah, same vibes, but executed in a completely different fashion. And well, I really wanted to show them to you at the same time because I think they show Sheldon Dingwall's brilliance in the variety of his engineering and designer mediums that is stunning. Also, both of these just came out and
they're killing.
Yeah, crushing.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about one important thing very first, which is that if you're really familiar with Sheldon Dingwall's engineering, you know that he's really inspired by the P-Bass. Like, dude loves P-Basses, right? Yeah. And so, to prove that to you, inside these pickups, they look like a soap bar. They're not a soap bar. There's two split coils in here that look like a traditional P pickup, and they're in there. They're in a certain orientation. We're not going to get into all that right now.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a lot of inspiration in current Dingwalls. Even though you think, wow, they look like a spaceship, there's no way they're inspired by a P-Bass. That's why they're so good. That's why they're so usable, is because he's drawn so much out of these classic icons that are so great. I'm also a P-Bass lover. I have a 1960P. I'm also a super boutique crazy bass lover, and I have all of those things.
Well, that's the beauty. It hits the points, but it's not just another P-Bass in aesthetics, which some people love.
So, very important because that actually combines these two bases. So, when Sheldon was working on the SP1, his exact words to me were, well, I said, what took you so long to make a P-Bass if you love P-Basses so much?
Right.
And his exact words to me were, it took this long to add something to it.
Not just be a clone or another.
Right. This is not a clone. Yeah. This is not a bass that we're just trying to slap a Dingwall logo on it. Hey, this is our version of a P-Bass. This is something that someone who admires the P-Bass so much says, I think I actually brought something to the table here. He's not saying that he made a better P-Bass. Let me clarify that as well. He's not saying that, you know, you should never own a P-Bass or something like that.
Exactly.
But he was able to bring something to the table.
Stuff he likes, right? You know what I mean?
To help bring, again, some technological marvels forward to make this thing really crush. Now, that brings us to the Combustion Nashville. So this bass actually came out of Sheldon's visit to my house in Nashville. And we got to hang out there with a bunch of really amazing bass players, a bunch of the cool groups that are there in Nashville, and really take opinions of players, right? That's the only way you can make a really great instrument. A really good instrument, great.
You need players.
Yeah. You need players. You need the boots on the ground, and in Nashville you have no lack of boots on the ground of people who actually play for a living, right? And that's what matters. Those are the opinions that really matter. Sorry, forums.
Yes. They're on forums. Those people are on forums.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, and this shows also an exemplary look at the execution of taking a very, very modern instrument and answering to the needs of the modern player who's not just playing some crazy metal in some weird tuning or something like that, which sometimes these basses get associated with. So, without further ado, we're going to show you how these two work in playing. So, that's an abbreviated playing.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
I went a little further on the first position, and the reason why is because, well,
It's the position.
it's the P-Bass position, right? You want to hear all that nice slappity slap, finger style, all these fun things. It sounds so good. It's like my 60P is a benchmark instrument. I got it from a very well-known bassist who's a customer of ours. It sounds incredible. And I can honestly say to you that is the closest I've really heard in a modern P instrument to that bass. And that is, I take that very, very, very seriously because we've sold a lot of basses, I've played a lot of basses, and I take that very seriously. Now the other thing you'll notice with the pickup selector, did you notice that there are tones in it? There's a lot else that's there. I mean, you can pull some crazy stuff out of it, and this scale length is not
unwieldy. Doesn't feel like. Not that I'm not John 5'10". You're the same height.
Right.
But I'm not. I have some basses I feel like I'm like.
And you're a guitarist, right?
Yeah.
So you play these basses when you do outgoing inspections on them. How does it feel?
They crush. I mean, I would ask you, is it easier to play than your 60s P bass? Different, easy?
Honestly, sometimes yeah, because it's so well built that you're
some
not,
of the ergonomics.
You're not fighting it. It doesn't. This is not an instrument that it feels like you're fighting. This is an instrument that feels like you pick it up and you just start playing stuff. I've never played any of the stuff I just played. I don't know, right? It just starts to flow out of you. It's very impressive. It's all passive, and it's also not terribly expensive. You can look through your notes. Jay hates paper on camera.
I hate paper on cameras.
So I'm doing this out of spite to get him to pull these papers up.
25 for a 4-string.
Yeah. So as far as Dingwalls go, I mean, very, very, very reasonable. And even as far as good basses go,
oh yeah,
it ain't bad.
And we had plenty of regular Dingwall customers bought these up quickly.
Yeah, and no complaints. We haven't had a single one returned. Everyone's been stoked with them. So that's always a good sign too. So let's, real quick, look at this Combustion Nashville. So, as I was saying, this is very different. Actually, it's the most different.
Yes.
But the similarity is that it's a usable instrument. That's the That's why a P bass is so great, right? Is because you can use it for everything, and that's what's cool about this bass as well. So, this most notably, the visual change, of course, is the pickguard. I will note also one of Sheldon's coolest little design things is the pickguard that doesn't go underneath the knobs.
I love that.
The reason why, you can take that pickguard off without having to take your knobs off. So especially on a front-routed instrument that you need to get in there and you're at a gig and you need to get in there and work on something.
It's a nightmare.
It's not a nightmare to take the knobs off and do all that stuff. It's really, really great. That's cool innovation to see here too. That was a weird thing that blew my mind.
Don't forget, all the stuff's behind though. That you're not pulling it.
This is a little bit different. So this bass most notably has the Dingwall Neve co-designed preamp, which is mind-blowingly incredible. Again, I'm not going to necessarily get into it in this video. I mostly want you to see the difference here, but that is a brilliant sounding thing and has very specifically tuned frequencies that make it very usable for non-traditional Dingwall players, if that makes sense to you. Now the scale length on this guy is different. This is your traditional Dingwall scale, so it is quite long.
It gives you the true low B.
Quite long on the low side, while on this is just a 4-string.
Yeah.
But and also I will also mention that this is the now outgoing bridge style. The new bridge, the minimalist bridge, like the SP1, is going to be coming on all these in the future as well. So volume up. We are going to go to the neck position and set this bass pretty much flat. And then I'm going to show you a couple things in the switch as well too. Now here's the tone knob roll off. So, I never touched the treble or bass knob.
Never.
Didn't touch them. All I was doing was changing only some of the many positions that are in this crazy blend knob. And
the three-way is P sounds up. When you're in the middle pickup's engaged with the blend. And then down is the blend with just neck and bridge.
Right.
Yeah, so you can kind of go through a whole cycle of
exactly
those sounds. Yeah.
So there's an amazing amount of sounds in the bass,
yeah.
which is all I'm really trying to illustrate here. You don't need, and it's clear, it's hi-fi, it's a Neve preamp. It sounds...
And the nice thing is, some basses or some instruments will have so many controls, and you're like, I used 2 of them. It's like, give me those 2 then.
Right.
That actually, you could stretch it out, your uses for it.
Yes.
Especially studio bass, like, yeah.
And the thing to me about these is that they sound, the beauty of a Neve preamp is it sounds clean and clear. And that's what this does here too. So, J-Lock, now that you've gotten to listen to me play bass for once, what do you think about these 2 hearing them back to back?
I love bass. I can't play it phenomenally. I'm a guitar player, so I'm jealous of the sounds you guys get. They do the job, both of them, equally for different things. Buy both of them, I guess. Buy one of them. Try one of them.
The easy way to say it is that you could have either of these basses or both of these basses, and they're
not the same thing.
They're not the same, but they also both really do such a good job of what they do.
Yeah.
You could have both in your arsenal. You could have one of them in your arsenal. You're going to get what you need, but they're both such just good execution. It's really phenomenal. It's very impressive. And I say especially about the SP1, I'd say that bass feels like the next generation of P. If you close your eyes in 100 years in the future, I feel like these are still going to be around.
No batteries.
Also very nice. And on that excitement, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and buy some basses, because that's how we stay in business and feed our families. No guilt there. Thanks, y'all.